Number one is obsession with profit over people. I mean, let's call it what it is. A lot of these executives care more about the bag than they do about the people. They're not building culture, they're chasing numbers. They don't care about the artist's vision or the team's growth. They just want the next bag, right? The next paycheck, the next viral hit, the next stat that looks good on the billboard. And when money is the only priority, ethics is 100% going to get thrown out the window. Creativity is going to get boxed in. The culture is going to get exploited. This is how we get leaders who follow trends instead of setting them, and who treat artists like products instead of people. That's not strategy. That's not leadership. That's survival mode. And it's killing the soul of the industry. The next thing is lack of leadership development. Here's the truth. Most music executives were never taught how to lead. They got their stripes from grinding, from hustling, staying visible, not from learning how to actually manage people, build culture, and guide talent. They know how to move money, they know how to close deals and run the game, but ask them to coach a team, resolve a conflict, create a space where artists and staff can thrive. They fold because they don't know how to do it. Too many people still operate with that outdated, it's my way or the highway type of mindset, type of energy. And all it does is just really kill creativity. It really breaks trust, and it stunts the growth of the people, the artists, the staff, the culture. Leadership isn't about control. And if you think it is about control, you need to go take basic leadership one-on-one today, right now. Stop watching the video. Go take basic leadership one-on-one. I'm sure they got free courses online, YouTube, LinkedIn, because trust me, you're going to need it if you think it's about control. It's about connection. It's about helping people to excel. It is about bringing the most and the best out of the people. And the reality is most of them that are in these leadership roles miss that lesson completely. Number three is industry obsession with power over purpose. I mean, once again, if you think it's about control and power, you shouldn't be in leadership. I mean, this industry is addicted to power, not purpose. It's all about who you know, what rooms you're in, how many followers you got, and how loud your name rings in the culture and in these rooms. Leadership gets handed out based on clout, not competency and capability. Nobody's asking, can you actually build something that lasts? Can you actually lead a team of people? Can you actually execute at a high level? Can you actually get people to give their biggest and highest and best contributions? No, you can't. But you're running around here with these labels like, I'm the CEO of this, and I'm the head of this, and I'm the executive of this. No. All they worried about is, can you get us into that room, right? Can you close this deal? You're not leading, right? That's how we end up with executives who look good on paper, but they can't do anything else. They can't lead a team, they can't develop talent, and they can't even hold a vision past the next rollout. It's all status and no substance. And this is why the culture keeps getting mishandled. This is why the culture keeps failing, because of these types of leaders that are mishandling their role as a so-called executive within this music industry. Number four is the toxic corporate structures. I mean, let's really be honest. The system is rigged to reward the wrong stuff. And too many labels and entertainment companies, the ones who get promoted, aren't the ones fighting for the culture. They're the ones playing it safe, chasing data, saying yes to anything that's not going to shake the table, right? I mean, these are the individuals who are really standing up for artists, the ones who are really challenging the norm or pushing for real change, right? Well, why do we got to do that? Why do we got to make them stand on tables? Why we got and rap for us? Why we got to do this? Why we got to single out these individuals? Why can't we treat people fairly? Why can't we build people up, right? And these types of people, they get boxed out, they get blacklisted, or they get pushed to the sideline. In this game, leadership isn't nurtured, it is punished. Trust me, I've seen it. I've talked to many people about it. It's punished. Well, actually it's rewarded, right? Bad leadership is rewarded at the highest level. You can really look at the news headlines and think about what leadership is and these executives that are leading these organizations and these companies. Yeah, sure. The private sector, when I say private sector, I mean any other industry outside of the music industry, yeah, they have their same type of things, but not at this particular level within the music industry. I mean, that's why the industry stays stuck in the same cycle. Number five is that we have a toxic industry culture. This industry didn't just end up toxic, it was built that way. Abuse, exploitation, gatekeeping, it's been normalized because the people in charge either participated in it or they turned a blind eye to it. And when the leaders at the top let it slide, it trickles all the way down. The worst part, it's been happening for so long, people think it's just how the game works. But this isn't culture. This is corruption in disguise. And as long as the same type of leadership continue to run the show, nothing's ever going to change. Number 6 is a culture of fear, not vision. Too many executives are out here leading from insecurity, not intention. Trust me, insecurity is how you can tell someone is not an effective leader. Insecurity shows up in many different ways. And one of the ways insecurity shows up is through intimidation and through fear and through control. Right? These are people who are scared of losing relevance, scared of being challenged, scared of getting called out. So instead of leading with vision, they lead with fear. And that fear trickles down. So, staff stays quiet, artists play it safe, innovation dies before it's even started. People stop taking risks. That's the biggest thing. They stop taking risks, not because they don't have ideas, but because they know that the people in charge won't protect them if things go left. I'm just thinking about, right? So on the podcast, we talked recently about the whole Carrie Hilson, right? And she was blacklisted for the diss against Beyonce, and she didn't write the words, and right, Polo the Don, and I forgot the other lady's name, kind of was like, hey, you write this song or we're going to shelf you. Probably that's what her thinking was. And so she went along with it, right? A great leader would have said, you know what? I don't think that's the right move. I don't think we should be able to do that. A great leader would have said, hey, Carrie, you make great valid points. I think that maybe we shouldn't take this direction. Great leaders listen to their staff. They take their input, not, give them fear tactics or display fear tactics to get them to do something. Well, if you don't do it, guess what? You're not going to have a career, right? They use these coercive, that's the word, right? Coercive methods in order to get them to do things. That's the crazy part that's happening within the music industry. I mean, you can't build greatness in an environment where people are scared to speak up. Number 7 is clout and image over substance. I mean, today's social media era, we got a lot of executives that are out here confused. They think visibility equals value. Most of these executives are more focused on curating their personal brand than building anything real. More worried about likes and aesthetics and viral moments and impacts and execution and things like leadership. They're not leading, they're performing. And when the spotlight that they're in matters more than the work itself, the culture is going to suffer. Because real leadership doesn't need applause. It leaves a mark whether the cameras are on or not. And a lot of these leaders today, executives, strive to be in front of the camera, strive to give their thoughts and opinions on everything. They strive to be like an influencer. No, you don't need to be an influencer. You know how you can influence through your leadership. That is how you be an influencer. It's influence through effective leadership. But you're not doing that, right? Because you're chasing clout. You want to be this thing that you don't need to be, because we don't need you to be that. We need you to be a leader within the industry. And number 8 is resistance to accountability. Oh gosh, here's that word that people don't like, accountability. Leadership without accountability isn't leadership. It's ego in disguise. But a lot of executives in this game move like they're untouchable, surrounded by contracts, status, and legal teams. They operate in silos, never challenge, never check, never correct it. They don't listen. They don't listen. They don't own their mistakes. They just double down on it. They use these tactics of fear and control to make it feel like it's you. It is not them. That's the crazy part. That's not leadership. That's craziness. And because there's no real consequence to this accountability, they keep doing the same friggin' thing over and over and over and over again, protected by the system and propped up by silence. Accountability isn't a threat. It's a requirement if you're going to be a leader within any industry. And without it, everything else is going to fall apart. You know what? And let me be real. Whether you're at a major label or you're running your own music brand, if you call yourself an executive or CEO, the standard is higher now, right? You have now taken on something that's higher. You've put yourself in a position that requires a higher level of accountability, a higher level of trust, right? Titles, clout, and followers don't make you a leader. Responsibility does. I don't care how many followers you got. I don't care what you put in your bio. I don't care what type of clout you have. If you're being irresponsible in the role that you are in right now, and you call yourself a leader, and you got CEO or executive or head of in your title, you need to stop. You need to stop right now. That doesn't make you a leader. Responsibility does. Too many people are chasing power without the skills to lead. No training, no emotional intelligence, no real support for their teams or artists. And it's hurting the culture. And it's so crazy because I hear some of these people talking about, well, you gotta have emotional intelligence. Well, you gotta learn how to build a team, but you're not really doing it. You're not really leading the culture. You're hurting the culture.